Los Angeles. A city renowned for its dreams and breathtaking skylines is currently facing an unprecedented crisis that threatens to alter its very landscape. Once celebrated for its vibrant culture and stunning vistas, Los Angeles now grapples with smoke and despair as devastating wildfires ravage its neighborhoods. The Palisades and Eden fires, two of the most destructive blazes in the city's history, have collectively consumed nearly 54,000 acres, obliterated over 29,000 structures, and displaced thousands of residents. This catastrophe not only devastates the environment, but also poses a significant threat to the city's social and economic fabric, particularly exacerbating the already critical homelessness crisis. As viewers of our travel documentary series, you've witnessed Los Angeles basking under the sun, but these wildfires unveil a darker, often hidden side of the city. The sheer scale of destruction is staggering. According to the Los Angeles Times, the Palisades fire alone has scorched over 29,000 acres and demolished nearly 15,300 structures. Similarly, the Eden fire has ravaged more than 13,750 homes in Altadena and surrounding areas, claiming lives and dismantling decades of stability. Combined, these fires have tragically taken at least 28 lives, leaving behind a trail of human suffering and loss. In the immediate aftermath, over 150,000 people have been forced into evacuation shelters or precarious temporary housing, creating a ripple effect that threatens to increase homelessness by a dramatic 20%. Have you ever wondered how natural disasters can transform a bustling metropolis into a landscape of despair? The economic impact of these wildfires is equally devastating. Early estimates place the damage from the Palisades and Eden fires between $260 billion and $350 billion, numbers that far exceed previous records for uninsured or underinsured homeowners. According to a report by the New York Times, rebuilding in such a high-cost environment is nearly impossible, leaving many without options but to join the growing ranks of the unhoused. Even for those with insurance, the exorbitant costs and lengthy timelines for rebuilding mean extended periods of displacement. Rental markets, already strained by high demand and limited supply, are likely to see sharp price increases, further exacerbating housing insecurity for low-income residents. Los Angeles has long struggled with homelessness, and in 2024, the city reached a staggering 119,141 individuals experiencing homelessness, with nearly 60% living unsheltered for years. The addition of thousands of wildfire victims threatens to worsen an already dire situation, pushing the homeless population beyond 142,000, a more than 20% increase. Wildfires exacerbate this fragile situation in multiple ways. First, they create immediate homelessness by displacing families whose homes are consumed by flames. These individuals often have no choice but to turn to already strained shelters or live in their cars. Second, they disrupt local economies by eliminating jobs and closing businesses, making it harder for affected families to recover and pushing those teetering on the edge into poverty and ultimately homelessness. Children are among the most vulnerable victims in this crisis. Nearly 21,000 children experience homelessness annually in Los Angeles, a number that is likely to swell as the wildfire crisis displaces families. These children face disrupted education, emotional trauma, and limited access to resources, challenges that can have lifelong consequences. The fires also compound another glaring issue, the lack of affordable housing. As demand for housing skyrockets in the aftermath of wildfires, rents will inevitably rise, pricing out those who were already struggling to afford a home and potentially joining the growing ranks of the homeless. High property values in fire-affected areas further complicate recovery efforts, as rebuilding becomes a luxury only the affluent can afford. Nearly 18.6% of Los Angeles residents live below the poverty line, a figure that outpaces the state average. The fires and their aftermath could push this number higher, creating a feedback loop of poverty and displacement. Los Angeles stands at a critical juncture. The wildfires have illuminated the fragility of its social and economic systems, underscoring the need for bold action to address homelessness and disaster resilience. Without a proactive approach, the city risks not only a 20% surge in homelessness, but also a deeper unraveling of its social fabric. At this point in our travel documentary, it's essential to pause and consider what can be done to mitigate such disasters' devastating effects on a city and its residents. The answers lie in comprehensive strategies that address both immediate needs and long-term resilience. But before we delve deeper into potential solutions, let's take a moment to support our channel. If you're finding this documentary insightful, please like this video, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth explorations of cities around the world facing unique challenges. Los Angeles, a city of contradictions, is a hub of innovation and entertainment that also bears the grim reality of one of the nation's largest homelessness crises. This crisis, already stretched thin by economic disparity and an acute housing shortage, faces an intensifying threat: wildfires. These catastrophic events not only devastate communities but also push thousands of vulnerable residents closer to homelessness, further compounding the city's struggle with housing insecurity. Wildfires do not discriminate when it comes to destruction, but their impact is disproportionately felt by low-income communities. These residents, already struggling to make ends meet in a city with an average two-bedroom rent of $2,570 and a median home price of $912,500, are often the least equipped to recover from such disasters. When a wildfire sweeps through, it destroys homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure, leaving many without shelter or income. For those already teetering on the edge of financial stability, losing everything to a wildfire can be the tipping point into homelessness. The loss of affordable housing in Los Angeles due to wildfires further tightens an already suffocating housing market. Affordable housing units, often concentrated in areas more susceptible to wildfires, are destroyed in large numbers during these events. Rebuilding such units is a slow and expensive process, particularly in a city where construction costs and bureaucratic hurdles are exceptionally high. This exacerbates the housing shortage and leaves thousands without viable options, pushing displaced individuals and families onto the streets or into overcrowded shelters. Critical infrastructure is another casualty of wildfires, and its destruction has long-term consequences for the city's most vulnerable populations. Power lines, water systems, and transportation networks are often heavily damaged, making recovery even more challenging. The broader context of living in Los Angeles compounds the challenges posed by wildfires. The city's high cost of living leaves little room for recovery from financial shocks. Groceries cost 17% more than the national average, utility bills are among the highest in the country, and California's state income tax is one of the steepest for residents. Barely managing to survive in this environment, a wildfire can strip away the fragile balance families have managed to maintain. Have you ever considered how a single disaster can unravel years of stability for a community? A family spending more than 30% of its income on rent, a common situation in Los Angeles, may find itself homeless after just one missed payment following a disaster. The impact of wildfires in Los Angeles is not just about the destruction of homes, it's about the systematic erosion of the city's ability to provide affordable housing for its residents. low-income neighborhoods, which are often more vulnerable to natural disasters, are bearing the brunt of the fallout. Many residents in these areas do not have the financial means to rebuild their homes or find a safe place to stay, leaving them in limbo or worse, without a roof over their heads. In a city already grappling with a severe housing shortage, this additional strain only intensifies the problem, potentially increasing the number of people who are pushed into homelessness. As our travel documentary progresses, we shift our focus to another dire consequence of the wildfires, the potential surge in crime. As wildfires rage through the dry landscape of Los Angeles, threatening homes and displacing thousands, the city's already fragile social and economic fabric is at risk of unraveling even further. The devastating fires, which have prompted widespread evacuations, are not only an environmental disaster but also a crisis that could push Los Angeles deeper into the grips of lawlessness, particularly in the form of property crime. Los Angeles, already grappling with high crime rates, faces an alarming rise in criminal activity in the wake of the wildfires. According to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, overwhelmed by the intensity of the fires and the subsequent wave of looting, their personnel have been stretched thin. Over 300 looters were arrested within the first few days of the wildfires. The city's law enforcement is prepared to aggressively patrol fire zones to prevent further destruction, but despite these efforts, the crisis seems to be worsening. The deployment of roughly 400 National Guard personnel to aid local authorities is a clear indicator of just how dire the situation has become. The threat of looting and violent crime in the aftermath of the wildfires is real and growing. Statistics paint a troubling picture for Los Angeles, long considered one of California's most crime-ridden cities. According to recent data from Neighborhood Scout, Los Angeles stands out in the state, with over 97% of communities in California having lower crime rates. In 2022, the city saw a 4% increase in overall crime, bringing the total number of reported incidents to 92,300. The crime rate reaches a staggering 24.15 incidents per 1,000 residents, a figure that firmly places Los Angeles among the most dangerous cities in the U.S. As wildfires continue to ravage parts of the city, that rate could rise even further as more individuals desperate for survival or seeking to take advantage of the chaos engage in property crimes. Property crimes have always been a significant problem in Los Angeles, with over 1,400 property crimes per 100,000 residents, a rate far higher than the national average. The socioeconomic fallout from the wildfires could compound the rise in property crimes. In the wake of natural disasters, communities face massive economic challenges. Homes are destroyed, businesses are shuttered, and people are left unemployed, all of which create fertile ground for property crime. As unemployment rates spike and families struggle to make ends meet, the pressure on individuals grows. With few opportunities for legitimate income, some may turn to theft, fraud, and other illicit activities simply to survive. These financial hardships can also push more individuals toward organized crime, particularly gangs, who thrive in environments of instability and poverty. In fact, Los Angeles is home to nearly 1,000 active gangs, and the economic strain from wildfires could fuel further gang activity as members seek to exploit the growing vulnerability of their communities. Looting becomes one of the most visible signs of this breakdown in law and order. In the wake of a disaster like a wildfire, when businesses are abandoned and security systems are compromised, looters flood the streets, taking advantage of the confusion. In addition to these material and economic consequences, the psychological toll of living through such a disaster cannot be underestimated. The trauma of losing homes, loved ones, and livelihoods can lead to profound mental health issues. which in turn can lead to criminal behavior. Stress, grief, and a profound sense of insecurity often result in impulsive and at times violent actions. Individuals struggling to cope with their trauma may resort to crime as a form of survival or as an outlet for their frustration and pain. The social fabric of Los Angeles is stretched thin, and as the wildfires continue to displace thousands, the psychological and emotional aftermath will only fuel the crisis. The worsening crime situation, fueled by the wildfires, presents a grim outlook for Los Angeles. Already a city grappling with its crime rates, the additional pressures of natural disaster recovery, economic hardship, and social instability could push the city to new extremes. Law enforcement is doing what it can to curb the rising tide of looting and property crimes, but with a crime rate already among the highest in the nation, the challenge is formidable. In the midst of recovery efforts, Los Angeles faces an increasingly dangerous prospect, one where the aftermath of the wildfires could ultimately lead to a surge in crime, plunging the city further into turmoil. If these trends continue unchecked, Los Angeles risks becoming not just a city of displaced families and businesses, but one overrun by crime, where the rule of law becomes increasingly difficult to maintain. As we explore the depths of Los Angeles's current crisis in this travel documentary, it becomes evident that the wildfires have not only scarred the land, but have also inflicted deep wounds on the community's social and economic structures. The intertwined nature of natural disasters and societal issues such as homelessness and crime underscores the complexity of urban resilience. Addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach that encompasses immediate relief efforts, long-term economic strategies, and robust support systems for the most vulnerable populations. One potential solution lies in enhancing disaster preparedness and resilience. Investing in advanced firefighting technologies, improving early warning systems, and creating defensible spaces around communities can help mitigate the impact of future wildfires. Additionally, urban planning must prioritize the development of affordable housing in areas less susceptible to natural disasters, ensuring that low-income residents have safe and secure living conditions even in the face of environmental threats. Furthermore, strengthening the social safety nets is crucial in preventing the surge in homelessness and crime. Expanding access to mental health services, providing job training programs, and increasing funding for affordable housing projects can help stabilize communities and reduce the likelihood of individuals falling into poverty and criminal activity. Collaboration between government agencies, nonprofit organizations, and community leaders is essential in creating a comprehensive support system that addresses both the immediate and long-term needs of those affected by wildfires. Education and community engagement also play pivotal roles in fostering resilience. Raising awareness about fire prevention, promoting community-based initiatives for disaster response, and encouraging civic participation can empower residents to take an active role in safeguarding their neighborhoods. By building stronger, more connected communities, Los Angeles can better withstand the challenges posed by natural disasters and economic hardships. The journey of Los Angeles through this crisis is a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between nature and urban life. As our travel documentary highlights, the city's ability to navigate this tumultuous period will depend on its capacity to adapt, innovate, and come together as a unified community. The stories of resilience and determination among Los Angeles residents serve as a beacon of hope, illustrating the potential for recovery and renewal even in the face of overwhelming adversity. In conclusion, the wildfires in Los Angeles have exposed the vulnerabilities within the city's infrastructure and social systems, highlighting the urgent need for comprehensive strategies to address homelessness and crime. As the city continues to battle the flames and their aftermath, The path forward requires a concerted effort from all sectors of society. By prioritizing disaster resilience, expanding affordable housing, and strengthening social support networks, Los Angeles can emerge from this crisis stronger and more unified. As viewers of our travel documentary, your understanding and support are invaluable in shedding light on these critical issues. By staying informed and advocating for effective solutions, you can contribute to the positive transformation of Los Angeles. Let us come together to support the city in its journey towards recovery and resilience, ensuring that it remains a vibrant and thriving metropolis for generations to come. Don't forget to like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to the HH Travel Documentary channel for more insightful and engaging content.